Today on our show,
News.
like the man said, news. Stick
In the
around.
nude.
Yeah, all nude news right here on Fat Man on Batman. Hello and welcome to Fat Man on Batman. I'm Kevin Smith.
Hey, I'm Marc Bernardin.
Here now, the news. I felt like I felt really pro for a second there.
All you need is the swivel and then the over the
Totally, and
shoulder.
turn into my single and be like, shitty things are happening in the world.
Today there's an oil rig on fire.
Good thing about this fucking show, folks, this ain't no news show where you watch and you're like, the world depresses me, I'm scared, and I'm gonna go crawl into a bathtub with a big joint and a bottle of wine.
Hug.
Yeah.
Hug.
This is the show that is all good news. All the news on Fat Man on Batman, generally positive news.
Pretty much.
You know, if it don't get you excited, maybe it's not your thing, but like stick around. The next story will get you excited.
Yeah, we're never really be talking about like murder.
No.
Unless
you know, Cap has been murdered.
Unless
Who's responsible? You know?
the Joker.
And that was Popeye in that instance.
That's
Popeye
okay.
was the lead detective, apparently, by asking who was responsible.
Detective Popeye Doyle, operating out of the 15th precinct.
Law and Order, dun dun, Sweet Haven. Who is responsible? Today, folks, we're going to do nothing but news. We got a lot of news stories to begin with. Mr. Marc Bernardin here is going to lead us off with something about the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Indeed.
Story close to home, isn't it?
It is quite a bit.
Give him a single.
Give me that single. Sweet single. Hey, how you doing?
Nice. Milk it.
Bring it. Own it.
That's right. Foreplay.
Apparently, they're shooting Guardians of the Galaxy now.
Happening right now
Down south Atlanta, I want to say. And there's been some photographs snapped from the set, the general atmospheric set of that particular burg, wherever it is. Probably before our hero gets kidnapped from Earth, possibly, perhaps, maybe.
Because in the Guardians of the Galaxy picture, he gets, Star-Lord gets kidnapped as a young boy. What year was that? He had an 80s mixtape.
He had an 80s mixtape, so it feels like it's the 80s.
So you think this is that? However, keep going.
Yeah. So the photos seem to capture what seems to be a film festival happening in a small town.
Who's it for?
Simon Williams is
that?
the name. Hey, look,
There it
Simon
is.
Williams Film Festival.
Do you think they're just fucking with us, or do you think he's in the movie?
I think he's in the
Because
movie.
he's friends, right? With
So the
Nathan and
Nathan
Gunn?
Fillion,
Yeah.
our friend and yours, the Nathan Fillion, seems to be on the face of every poster in the Simon Williams Film Festival. Now,
he was on this very show.
He was
mind you.
standing like right here, making us
Go
look
back and watch that episode.
Yeah, making us look short and ugly because he's tall and
And he
handsome.
was just charming as fuck.
God
and
damn it.
so Canadian kind.
Oh, the
But
sweetest
not
man
kind
in the world.
enough to tell us that he was fucking in this movie. Could have dropped some fucking news on us, goddammit, Nathan.
Nope.
We were just talking about previous episode, one of the ones right before this, if not the previous one, right to this. No, not the one right before this. We were talking about on this show, long story short. We said Fillion, man, he should play Booster Gold in DC. I said Nova in Marvel.
Right.
I
Instead,
got close.
You got closer than I did.
Holy shit, I got
He's
close.
Wonder Man, apparently.
Wonder Man, folks. Do you know that character? West Coast Avenger himself, Wonder Man. Simon Williams becomes an actor, doesn't he?
He does.
He gives up costumed adventuring to become an actor at one point. Part of the West Coast Avengers.
The best part of those snapped pictures, and spoilers, because this is all very like early on, and I'm sure they want it to be a surprise for you when you go see the movie.
Unless they're just fucking with us.
Which they totally could be fucking with us. But the idea that Simon Williams in this universe plays Tony Stark in a Tony Stark biopic is my favorite fucking part.
There's a poster, one of those posters they put up right there.
Yeah, it's like Steve Jobs.
It looks like the Steve Jobs movie, but it says Tony Stark. My lord, we live in a day and age where they can put in a massive, wonderful Easter egg like that. You know what I'm saying?
So great.
So
dude.
you not only have the movie to look forward to, but you're like, oh. Now, does that mean he's in the movie as Wonder Man?
Who knows?
Who knows? He's on the posters that are there.
It could
Is
literally
that just
be
a background
Yeah,
shot?
we could never actually see him.
Exactly. Could just be like a nod, whereas they're friends, and he's like, yeah, come on, do the poster shots, blah, blah, blah.
As we never actually saw him in Guardians 1, even though he's in it.
Look at that.
Oh, Rebecca.
So, I hope.
That's Becky with the good
And
hair.
look,
right there.
oh my, what is it, Archon?
Archon?
And that's like a Marvel character, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like from the 70s.
Yeah, he was their Conan before Conan. Wow. That's deep cuts,
deep
dude.
fucking cuts.
That really is.
Haxon 2.
Haxon 2? Is that what it is?
That is what it is.
Good stuff, man.
Oh, so much fun.
That is servicing the customer. Let me tell you. You put stuff like that in, whether or not he appears as Wonder Man. I mean, now it's like, oh my God, could you see him in the shirt and the glasses and stuff? But whether or not he does, yes, with that big ass W across his Fillion man titties. Oh, he could wear it a W, let me tell you. Even if we don't see that, just knowing that they give a fuck enough about a deep background piece. Let's say it's not like part of the plot. It's just something you pass by.
Yep.
That my hat's off to you, good sirs, over at Marvel.
Well done, Mr. Gunn.
God damn it. Like, that's the Lord's work right there.
Holy dog shit.
That gun is firing not blanks.
Nope.
45 caliber killer, that gun.
Hollow point, son.
That kid's going places. I predict it. All right, so that's fucking huge, wonderful news.
So great.
Although we don't know for certain whether or not it's full roll, whatever it is.
It's in the fabric of the movie, and that's good enough for me.
And based on the reaction of the internet, if he's not that much in the movie, on these guys, I'm like, we better shoot a fucking whole
we got him, right?
scene with him.
Is he still down here? Castle's wrapped for the season, right? Come on back.
Maybe he's going to be like the button scene, the PS, the post-credit sequence.
Ooh, leading us into a larger world.
Oh, love it so much. Okay, Civil War is coming, folks.
Yes.
I'm going to see it very soon, and then Marc has already seen it.
I have.
So in the next episode, probably, we'll review it. Home reviews. I'll review it after I watch it. He'll review it. He's already seen it.
Yeah,
so.
I might see it again, though.
Yeah, fucking right.
And then in Arizona, where you and I are, on the 7th of May.
Fat Man on Batman Live. If you heard the Detroit Fat Man on Batman Live, you know that's a show you want to be at.
Yes.
We had a good fucking time in Detroit.
On the road.
Yeah,
it's
so
stand
now
up
we're bringing
live.
it to Phoenix and shit. It's hot.
Just the desert.
Come in, even if you don't like the show, just come in for the air conditioning. that's how you sell our show. Okay, let's talk about the Green Lantern Corps, people.
Yeah, apparently.
Corpse of the Green Lantern, which is so metal. Green Lantern Corps, sorry. God, I sound like Jason Mewes. The Green Lantern Corps. They're talking about, of course, a Green Lantern feature.
Yeah.
If you watched the DC, what was it? The thing I did on CW? It was Dawn of the Justice League.
Right.
The special where they showed the footage of the Justice League, the Suicide Squad trailer, the Wonder Woman piece. Jeff Johns on that show said, we are doing Green Lantern. So, that was a movie that they were adding to the list. And it's not just solo Green Lantern, it's the Green Lantern Corps. So now there's a story online today. Who originated the story? Do we know? Is it Heroic Hollywood?
IGN.
May have been Latino Review.
Latino Review.
I think so.
The other Heroic Hollywood.
Broke the news that not only is this Green Lantern Corps movie going to have, well, it says Corps, so there's got to be more than one fucking Green Lantern. But it's not just going to have the Hal Jordan Green Lantern.
Nope.
It's also going to have
Jon Stewart.
and Karl Rayner. Now, I had somewhere in the streams of time heard definitely that it was more than Hal. Like they were doing Hal and John.
Right.
Because we had, what's his name on the show a long time ago? Neil Adams. And, Neil Adams created Jon Stewart. And he was like, they had Justice League cartoon for 10 years. To every kid in America and around the world, Green Lantern was Jon Stewart. And then when they came out the movie, they're like, it's Hal Jordan. And he's like, those kids were like, who is that? So now gives them their chance to do both. Here's Hal and here's John. And now they're adding Kyle as well, which is why fitting him in there.
We talked about when I took my son to see Green Lantern.
Yeah.
And he was like, so he's a space cop, right? Yeah. Is he the best space cop? No. He's not the only space cop, and he's not the best space cop. Why do I care about this Green Lantern?
They got some work ahead of them.
Yeah,
But the good news is they only have to, they now have a bar. That other Green Lantern movie, they're like, let's just not do that again.
Yeah.
So, as they're building their Justice League universe and stuff, this is good news. Even the inclusion of Karl Rayner is good news. I wouldn't have, if I was in charge, I'd be like, that seems like one Lantern too many. And if I felt the need to put another Lantern in, I'd probably go Guy Gardner, although they'll probably have him in there anyway. He's just not a main
Given that we're core, we're going to have another 75 lanterns on screen at
You're going
once.
to see Kilowog, you're going to see Tomar Ray, you're going to see all that stuff again. Probably better versions of him and stuff.
Fingers crossed.
But
It couldn't help but be better versions.
that's true. But that's like Jon Stewart, Green Lantern. That's the news right there.
Yes.
Who? Let's cast it right now.
Well, it can't be Will Smith.
Right?
No, can't be Will Smith. Probably at this point can't be Idris Elba because he's in Dark Towering.
Good call. I hadn't thought of him. I went right to Denzel in my head, but
Did
he
you?
might be a little too old. He'd be a fantastic Reed Richards.
He really would. I mean, I'm sure that right now Tyrese Gibson is writing his letters of recommendation to himself to be Jon Stewart. I'm your man. Come on. It's me, Tyrese.
All right, like, look, maybe this is not. Maybe this is more the commercial choice, but I would also argue that I like his acting chops. Ice Cube, terrible call.
I mean, I
Think
love the
about it.
idea.
Think about it. Now, just before you say anything, think about Ice Cube in The Mask as Jon Stewart.
There is also, like, as much as you and I know Ice Cube from NWA, there is an entire generation that knows him as the "Are You There Yet" dad.
You think that's what holds him back?
Like, no, it's the
Warner Brothers
family-friendly
is
Ice
like,
Cube.
we would have cast you as Jon Stewart,
Like-
but you're still carrying that "Are We There Yet?"
I mean, Ride Along 1 and 2 made like $400 million each.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying.
that motherfucker's
he's
a movie
star. So why not? Imagine
No,
him
I
standing
got-
there with his arms crossed in that suit and that mask. Somebody on the internet, give me a picture of Ice Cube as Jon Stewart.
And while you're at it,
in tights.
I will bet you $100 Kevin Hart is going to get cast as Jon Stewart.
Really?
Because if you're going to do this as the buddy cop version of Green Lantern,
Which is kind of like if you're doing Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan, yeah, you could be conceivably be
yeah.
Lethal Weapon in space.
If it's not, I will be very fucking upset.
Right.
And like, at
So
this
you're
point,
saying Kevin Hart is probably.
I'm saying Kevin Hart is now your comic relief.
And how many Warner Brothers movies has Kevin Hart done? Couple, right?
Yeah, I think the ride-alongs are Warner's. I'm just saying, in a world where they considered Jack Black for Green Lantern at one point,
They did. I remember
They
that.
did.
He's absolutely right.
there's, I think, granted, he's a little short for a superhero.
Get a lot of mileage out of that.
A lot of mice, short for a stormtrooper, short for a lantern. Oh, Matt Key has a thing to say.
Michael B. Jordan.
Ooh.
Michael B. Jordan, you could cross the streams. He could be one of those men that walk between worlds, having been briefly Johnny Storm.
Yep.
Yeah, totally.
could.
I mean, he's a fucking amazing Creed, man. The
Yeah.
whole movie's great.
Or you just get The Rock and just call it quits.
But isn't he? I know that would be the obvious one. But isn't he?
Black Adam.
Yeah, he
was-
wants to play Black Adam or something.
Yeah.
But how close are they to a Shazam movie?
It's on the schedule somewhere deep.
If you were him, which would you pick?
If I'm him, I pick Black Adam.
Really? Why?
Yeah.
Because it's against type? Because he seems like Jon Stewart Green
He
Lantern.
seems like Jon Stewart, but I feel like Black Adam stands a bit apart from this universe, and he
Yeah.
doesn't get swallowed up by it. So I feel like it's a rock movie if he's Black Adam. It's a ensemble piece if he is Jon Stewart.
He once played an ageless man in Scorpion King as well,
He
so he's
did.
got some experience.
He's got some. He's been in the desert before.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Is that code? Is that sounded like a gay code? You're like, he's been in the desert before.
he's
I
a
was like,
friend
is that how
of
we say it?
Dorothy.
Okay, The Flash, folks. This is a Flash movie rumor coming at us from where? Heroic Hollywood.
Yeah.
Heroic Hollywood actually always gets a lot of stuff right.
Yeah, I mean, and this particular
What's
bit
his
of
name?
news.
El Mayimbe?
El Mayimbe.
He got a finger on a pulse somewhere.
does.
Somebody's pulse he's holding. He gets good information.
Yes.
This is The Flash is rumored to be casting 5 roles right now. Of course, we know that Ezra Miller will be playing the cinematic version of Barry Allen.
Yes.
These are the other characters that they're, according to Heroic Hollywood, are up for inclusion in the movie.
Familiar a little bit.
Very. Iris West, can't do that without Iris West. You got Barry Allen, you need an Iris. Eobard Thawne. Now that's Candace Patton. She plays
she's
Iris
Iris
on the TV show. That's Eobard Thawne, who in the comics and in the TV show was the Reverse Flash. Now, Mark, tell them what you noticed when you read the log line on Eobard Thawne.
The next Central City's Bill Gates, confined to a wheelchair due to a degenerative disease.
So, Eobard Thawne, the Reverse Flash, confined to a wheelchair in this movie. Was he ever wheelchair bound in the DC universe in comics? Do you know of?
I don't believe he was.
So do you think that the TV show is the first one to put him into a wheelchair?
Probably.
So then isn't the movie taken now directly from the TV show if that's the case?
Pretty much.
I'm sure they're going to get someone very talented to make this movie, and all these people will be involved with very talented. And Ezra Miller's a very talented kid, but again, for the life of me, I just don't understand why they're not like, we already have a Flashiverse. Let's just cross the stream.
It's going to be like the most beautiful, roundish, voluptuous tits on a bull you've ever seen. Like, they're going to be stunning tits on a bull, but why?
Yeah, it's just, I mean, look, they got my money. I'm going to see it, but like, and I'll just say this because I worked on the show, but that fucking Flash show is brilliant. Like, it's as close as you get to doing an issue of a comic book every week. All those people are crushing it, and they've got 4 or 5 million people tune in and watch that.
Yeah.
You don't want that box office? I would take that. I'd start off hedging my bets going like the Grant Gustin audience. Like, all right, let's say you got 5 million people watching it, 10 million bucks paying a ticket. That's an additional 50 million. Granted, there's a lot of crossover in that audience anyway, but that's a guaranteed 50 million bucks right there.
It is also advertising you don't have to do.
Yes.
It's like, hey, by the way, we've established this guy as the Flash. We spent years.
You've had 2-3 seasons by the time they get there, free commercials for this character.
Teaching the audience how to get on board with the Flash. We've already done that work. But now we got to do it all again.
It reminds me of a little bit of like, remember when Battlestar Galactica wrapped up and Universal was like, okay, now Bryan Singer's going to do the movie version. And we were all like, great, is it attached to the TV version? Like, not at all.
Nope, starting over.
Total recreation. And you're like, oh.
Really? I don't, why?
All right, so Iris West, Eobard Thawne in the movie. A guy named Fred Chire, I don't know who that is, a gruff detective investigating a death at Thawne's lab.
I really wanted that to be like McGruff the crime dog. Yeah. Like, that would be 1,000 times better.
A McGruff detective. He's like, I'm here to take a bite out of crime. Len Snart, of course we all know who that is. Yep. Ex-military operative working for Thawne, but of course he becomes, in the comics and on the TV show, Captain Cold.
Booyah.
And then Jay Garrick. There's Captain Cold from the TV show. What's his name again?
Wentworth Miller.
Wentworth Miller. So good on that show. I saw somebody on fucking Twitter. This always like blows my mind when somebody, there's a universal truth we all accept, and then one person has to go against that grain. Somebody was like, I don't like the way he delivers his dialogue. I think he's terrible. I'm like, are you fucking nuts? Like, of all the things in life I am certain of, there aren't many, but one thing I know is that dude is crushing as fucking Captain Cold. Like, they give him his own fucking show. The way he delivers
they pretty much kind of did.
Exactly.
You know, we really like that guy.
I remember, and when I saw someone on the internet like say that Quentin Tarantino wasn't a good director, I'm like, now I know the internet's broken. Because there's just some shit we all accept. Like, the world is round, Quentin's a great director, and whatever, I'm off my horse. Okay, so Jay Garrick, last cameo, Central University professor fired for fringe science and study of the Speed Force. I gotta be honest with you, man. Just the inclusion of the term Speed Force kind of like made me hard. Where I was like, "Ooh, I want to see this movie."
Also, study of the Speed Force, like it's the class you can take in this university.
It could be
Central
universe.
Speed Force 101, please.
Itty. Flash movie. They're building it.
They're doing it.
It's happening.
No matter what we say,
it's all happening. They can't. Well, I mean, look, the Flash TV show is always gonna be with us.
Yes.
I say
first in my heart.
Yes, and like, I don't know. That's just me. Maybe I don't understand the business. But that to me, like, you backdoor pilot Green Arrow, Flash, and all those Legends of Tomorrow cats into your universe. Like turnkey. Same way they bought the Charlton characters, and suddenly we got a turnkey universe. Do that right there. They're like, we've already set up. Like, you know, we've had 2 seasons of Flash. Like, they know his story.
Yeah. I wonder if it's just that they don't trust the audience. I wonder if ultimately, like, that's the problem. Like, they don't trust us to be able to make that jump.
I just can't believe there's still, like, it can't come down to a TV bias of like, well, that's TV. Because that was like something they said in the 80s. But now TV is like fucking...
Yeah, that line is so blurred.
And almost legitimately better than movies in most cases. So, you know, you can't leave it at that either. I don't know, man. Again, I don't run that company, but like to me... Yeah, I mean, but what do I know? All right, let's keep going.
Yeah. Dredd.
Interesting things going on the internet. A lot of people love that Dredd movie with Karl Urban in it.
It's a very good movie.
Very good movie. It was
quite
kind of
liked
like The Raid, but with Judge Dredd. He had to get up the building and
Yes,
stuff.
and Cersei Lannister.
Yes, yeah, that's right. Fucking good pull. Now, if it was...
Is this the internet? Like,
oh, this is the
meme?
fakey fake?
That's the fake tweet that was sent out, yeah.
So this was a fake tweet for a Dredd 2 Netflix original. And look at that cast down below. Is that Kevin Spacey?
Kevin Spacey's
Is that
head.
Benedict
There's
Cumberbatch?
the Cumberbatch. There's Tatiana Maslany's head, or is this basically just other things you would like? Not supposed to
I think
be.
it might be that. I don't know.
Wow,
otherwise
could
I
you
would-
imagine? Oh yeah,
like
it's a
Bob
list of
Odenkirk.
Netflix originals. So, you know, it's, of course, a lot of people were like, is this real? And no, it's not real. But Karl Urban says he would do Dredd Netflix series in a heartbeat.
Karl Urban.
I don't know why it's news, but
Yeah, because it's kind of obvious. Like,
yeah.
no, I wouldn't do it.
If they came to me and they were like, we want you to be Dredd in a Netflix series, I'm like, oh my God, whose dick do I have to fucking suck? Netflix?
I
That
have to
means
suck-
people are going to see this.
You have to suck Karl Urban's dick because
Yeah.
I will.
Is that what you're telling me? Because I will. Can he be in the Bones McCoy character when I do it?
Damn it, Jim.
He did a great job in that movie. That is Judge Dredd. There's only one other example of Judge Dredd. That's not Judge Dredd.
No.
This very much Judge Dredd. He never took his helmet off. The whole
No,
fucking
I don't
movie.
want to see his eyes.
Isn't that awesome? The guy's like, I'll play that part forever, and you never see my eyes.
Cool. Stunt chin.
He said, Karl Urban said, Dredd 2, I'd do it. Netflix or Amazon, there's a gold mine of awesome Mega City 1 stories. He's absolutely right, man. You go back to, was it AD? What was that book called?
2000 AD.
2000 AD. They got tons of...
Oh god, they were like 30 years worth of Dredd stories.
They could do Judge Death. They could do a lot of cool shit. Okay, so once again, not really a story,
No,
but internet has hope. There's the story. Internet shows hope. Internet usually shows hate,
Yeah.
shows hope.
also, occasionally, sometimes, maybe.
Preacher is another comic book property coming your way, thanks to the great Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, who they announced 2 weeks ago that they're doing The Boys
Yeah.
as well. So
All the comics they've ever loved, they're not making things.
Basically.
Why does Matt Key look like he's
you
lost
didn't know
his
that
fucking
they're doing
shit?
The Boys?
Yeah, that's so
You're the producer of the fucking show. Yeah, they're doing The Boys as well.
That's so awesome.
I know those guys
I
are.
heard that they were doing boys, but I didn't know it's them doing it. That's
It's them. So Preacher, they've done Preacher. Preacher's coming to AMC May 22nd. It premieres. I just got invited to they have an LA premiere or something like that.
Ooh, you're so fancy.
I know. Well, fucking, I got to keep up with
Well,
Mr. Civil War, Mr. Game of Thrones. Now we can talk about Game of Thrones too.
We
'cause
totally can.
Everyone's seen it now.
we have.
But Preacher is coming, and we got pictures. Throw up the pictures. Ooh, there he is. That's the Preacher.
Yeah.
Who's playing him?
Dominic.
Monahan? No.
No.
I can't remember his last name.
I want to say Cooper. I was like,
What's
West?
he been in?
No.
Anybody know anything?
He's
Carter, he plays
yeah, he's Howard Stark.
in the
He's young.
Oh, he's the
Stark.
Howard Stark guy in all the flashbacks. So he was in Captain America,
He was in the
First Avenger. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I like that guy. Wow, he's playing the Preacher? Mm-hmm. Right on. He walks between two worlds.
He
He's Marvel and
does.
he's DC. Ooh, Vertigo. What else you got picture-wise? Is that Arseface?
Yeah.
Aw,
Wow. Wow.
that's
Wow.
uncomfortable.
Dude, I never in a million years imagined we'd see fucking Arseface on television. That's the world we live in. Is that Jesse Custer right
That's
there?
Cassidy.
That's Cassidy.
Yes.
And then have we seen Tulip? Mm-hmm. We have?
Yeah, there's some pictures out there of her. Played by Ruth Negga, is the
Yeah.
actress. She was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I think for the second and third season, maybe. A British actress. Actually, really, really good.
Really?
Yeah.
There it is, man. Can't wait to see that shit. Read that book, that Garth Ennis, Steve Dillon book from... I was collecting books when that came out, man. Read that whole fucking run. Was like, oh!
I know. I have a trade somewhere with your name on the top of it.
Yeah, that's true. They asked me at one point, they're like, give a quote. And I was like, more fun than going to the movies. And then in like some fucking comic book website, they were like, yeah, your movies maybe. I was like, oh! Hoist on my own fucking petard. Preacher
again.
is coming, man. It's going to be awesome.
Yes.
At least by those pictures, shit, looks like Preacher.
They're not fucking around.
They're not. And I think they directed, both Seth and Evan directed the pilot. Spider-Man.
Homecoming.
What a great title. I know it seems like, like it always feels like we're like, Marvel can do no wrong. But they really can't. Like fucking, and here's proof positive. Robert Downey Jr. is going to be in Spider-Man Homecoming. So Tony Stark's going to pop up in Spider-Man's movie.
How great is that?
Fucking brilliant. He needs to, I love this man so much. He's so fucking funny, so talented. He needs to pop up in every movie from now until the end of time. He's so vastly entertaining. I love Robert Downey Jr. I love to watch him. He's one of my, like, you always hear people like, who's your favorite actor? I'm like, yeah, they're all fucking good. But like, he's Bill Murray, Depp category for me,
point.
where it's like, I will watch anything they do, even if all three of them are like, well, what we're gonna do is end your fucking life in front of you. I'd be like, well, I'm sure you'll do it entertainingly. Yeah, oh my God. Pass the popcorn as you end my life.
That's a very big gun.
He's fucking talented, man. Robert Downey Jr. is just entertaining as fuck. Proof positive is we loved Iron Man 3. He's barely Iron Man in that movie.
It is basically like a Rockford Files episode. We're just like, hey kid, let's go solve some crimes.
I would watch a modern day Rockford Files with Robert Downey Jr.
Wouldn't you though?
It don't even have to be like, here, Netflix, scoot closer. Scoot closer. Scoot closer. Netflix, take all that Scrooge McDuck Smaug money. Throw a bunch of it at Robert Downey Jr., like more than he gets thrown in the movies, because mind you, this is a $20 million plus man.
Yeah, easy.
So you're going to have to fucking come correct with this. But let him do Rockford Files. They're like,
six
what do you
episodes.
mean let him? They're like, of course we'd love that. All right, convince him to do
Here's
it.
$200 million, Robert Downey Jr. We're going to make 6 episodes of the Rockford Files starring
Mark,
you.
you're being ridiculous, but 10 episodes. 10 at 200.
we're in.
Now that's a steal.
10 for 2, we
What
win.
would that be, a 20 million episode?
Yeah, well, I mean, he
If you did
gets
10
his
episodes.
cut.
And
Like,
he's getting 10, 20 per.
let's pretend he gets 50 off the top. Then it's 10 episodes at $15 million each.
Look at this week on Fat Man and Batman. Me and Mark pretend to be Robert Downey Jr.'s agents.
And rewrite Hollywood mathematics and economics at the same time.
It's just a good idea. I never thought about it until you said Rockford Files. I'm like, holy fuck, I'd watch the shit out of that. More Robert Downey Jr. That's my only beef about Robert Downey Jr. is it's like, you got to wait for a Marvel movie to come
Well,
out.
not true. He is shooting Sherlock Holmes 3
Are they really?
by the end of the year.
Good for him. I liked him. I wasn't like wild about the Sherlock Holmes movies. They were utterly watchable. But again, I'll watch him fucking like, I watched The Juror, bitch, or whatever it's called. What was it called? Fucking my dad, the judge. The judge. That was it.
The Juror, bitch.
That should have been the title.
Starring Monique and Robert Downey Jr.
And he was good in it too. I mean, so was what's his name, of course, Duvall. But even that movie, which is like, he's not putting on the Iron Man suit. He doesn't get to quip as much, but he gets to quip a lot because he's a lawyer. Like, I'll watch him do anything. He's a fucking crazy talented actor. So I'm more like, yes, of course he's in Spider-Man Homecoming. But you be careful, because you let Robert Downey Jr. into your house. Remember how he's going to be in a few scenes from the Avengers. That was the word back in the day.
Right.
And then he was the Avengers. Then he's just going to be a little bit of Cap America Civil War.
Yeah.
And now he's the fucking co-star.
Yeah.
So if you let Robert Downey Jr., you give him an inch.
He is going to fuck Aunt May. Absolutely. By the end of that movie,
He will.
fucking Aunt May.
Yes. Oh my Lord. The moment did we talk about that?
We did a little. Well, we did.
She's in. We know that she's in.
We know she's in it.
And then they announced that too, right? Like that was out there.
That casting's out there. And we know that he visits, he recruits Spider-Man.
He's never going to get with Aunt May as long as Pepper Potts is in those movies.
We'll see.
Ooh. Oh! Marc Bernardin.
Not spoiling anything.
Marc Bernardin.
What?
Okay, Spider-Man Homecoming. What more do you need to know that Robert Downey Jr.'s in it? Like, you need another reason to see this movie? I can't wait. I think I'm seeing it tomorrow.
You know what I realized we didn't talk about?
Fire
It
away.
might be getting a little bit too late.
No.
But we never actually scooted closer about the fact that Scoot McNairy is in Batman v Superman.
And in it, he's in a vehicle that scoots. Interestingly enough.
I can't believe we let that just sit on the table for so long.
But the reason we talked about him in the first place was because he did an interview going like, this is real. Like, they're treating this real, and this could happen in a real world. That's what, because he said something like this, the events of Batman, it wasn't this verbatim, and this kid's a great actor, but he said something along the lines of like, the events of this movie could happen, like not could happen in real life, but we play it very realistic or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's when we were like, scoot closer.
So close.
Don't say that.
You're a big mistake, Scoot.
This is not real.
Not even close, buddy.
But yeah, he's in the movie.
He's
man.
in the movie. We didn't scoot for Scoot.
And he wasn't like a superhero or anything. He was a guy who
just a dude.
was bitter about Superman.
Disgruntled postal worker /
Who
Wayne
Bruce Wayne saves.
ish.
He
Bruce
was
Wayne
mad at the wrong guy. He's
radicalizes.
like, I'm half a man. It's like, well, blame Batman. He didn't get there fast enough.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't know Bruce Wayne was Batman. To be fair, he might be the only person in that movie who doesn't know that Bruce Wayne's Batman. That's something else we didn't dwell on very much, but like, I'm still trying to come to terms with the fact that Lex Luthor knows that Bruce Wayne is Batman. Mm-hmm. He said it. He's like, I sent him a few letters, and you let your family die. So you're like, okay, so you know that he's Why aren't you telling everybody?
Yeah. No.
Like, if I was a supervillain, I'd be like, Batman is Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne.
By the way, I own like this massive tech company. I can just broadcast it to the world.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne.
But he's got a plan. I've been told by the internet that Lex Luthor has a plan. It involves Darkseid, and I'm like, they didn't say that in the movie at all. But they're like, don't worry about it, it's happening.
Never once heard the word Darkseid. It's like, no, but he tings like it's the boom too. Yeah, I get what he's doing. I get what he's doing.
I saw the Omega on the ground too, but
Yeah, sometimes text has to be actual text.
still, I'm in.
Yeah.
Saw it 3 times. I went to see it one more time in theaters.
Did you?
I did, by myself.
trying to arrest that 80% drop of the box office.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah, it's not good.
falling fast. I mean, look, they still made a lot of money and stuff, but it's
They
not
did.
the money they were kind of that everyone thought it could be.
Isn't it? And-
I remember at one point, I think I was talking on Babylon. I was like, this movie could make $2 billion. That's obviously might have
Kinda.
overestimated a bit on that, just a touch.
Didn't quite get there, but
But I did go to see it at theaters and one more time at the ArcLight. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go. And it was like a 10 o'clock show or something like that. And there were a couple people there. But, I still had the same kind of like, but ultimately still fall down on the side of like, glad I saw this a third time. People are like, I don't believe you. I'm telling you. I felt that way when I left. I was like, right on. And I found 2 things that I hadn't seen prior that made the third viewing kind of fun for me, where I was like, oh, that was worth going. One is when Luthor at the party where, Bruce Wayne meet Clark Kent. When he's talking about, Prometheus was the first
Titan who steals fire from
give to the people or blah blah blah. He tells the story, and he's like, and he stole it from Zeus and blah blah. They cut to Diana, and she kind of rolls her eyes like, you know shit about Zeus. That I was like, holy fuck, that's cool. More of that would have been fucking amazing. And then the other thing I didn't see in the first 2 viewings, and a lot of people on Twitter were like, you're a fucking fat asshole if you didn't see it, you fucking fat asshole. And I'm like, you told me the first time. One of the things I didn't see the first 2 viewings, when Lex births Doomsday, spoilers, and is just like, here's your Doomsday. And he comes at Superman. Before he even comes at Superman, the first thing he's born, he's like, ah! He goes after Lex. First thing he does is lunges at Lex, and then fucking Superman catches his fist. And it's like Luthor knew that, like, well, of course he's gonna save me. He's fucking Superman. But in that moment, I was like, oh, that's badass. That's really fucking cool. That is Superman. That is like, I'm going to save this fuck even though I hate him. Because his first line to him is like, I'm going to take you in without breaking you. That's not very Superman. But him saving Luthor from getting killed by the first blow from Doomsday was very Superman. I didn't see it the first time. I was like, that's fucking dope.
Hey, I got nothing, man. I'm trying so
I'm not
hard.
going to keep defending myself for liking the movie. Some people online, there's a dude online who was just like, he's a paid shill for Warner Brothers. I was like, I fucking wish.
Yeah,
I tried to be one of those. They don't do that kind
More
of thing.
shilling, please.
And if anything, I sound more like a paid shill for Marvel. Because every time we're like, ooh, Marvel farted and smelled amazing. But they're just crushing, dude. They get it all right.
Just sniffing Marvel's underpants.
Case in point.
Yes, what do we got?
Jessica Jones just won a fucking Peabody Award. That's the world we live in, dude, where the Netflix show that's not even Daredevil, but the Jessica Jones show.
The other one.
Won a goddamn Peabody Award, man. That's crazy. That's the crazy comic booky world we live in now. That's nuts. Congratulations to all them. What's the name of Melissa Rosenberg?
Melissa Rosenberg.
Who ran that show. She wrote the Twilight movies and stuff. It's huge. Fucking a Peabody for a fucking show where the villain can make you do what he wants with mind control.
And pheromones or whatever.
Yeah. And,
don't care.
And also,
So
for the
good.
record, a dead baby fetus plays a central part of that. Fucking, remember? Wasn't that crazy? You're like watching it going like, did they just say the fetus of the baby they're going to pull the fucking juice from?
Oh, God.
They were like, we can create a magic potion from the fetus. I was like, holy shit. It was him. Kilgrave is trying to like expand his powers.
So,
Even with that, dude.
Peabody.
Yeah, they're like, well, that's why we give Peabodys away.
You know what? Peabody, Mr. Sherman, you can have them both.
Yeah, that show deserved it. It was a good show, man.
Deserves a
Actually,
good
give
Mr.
that
Sherman.
one the Peabody. Give fucking Daredevil the Mr. Sherman award. Let's see. Jumping down to...
What else we got?
Let's do the Inhumans real quick.
What Inhumans?
Yeah. Oh, fucking holy shit. Give him a single. That's well written. Funny you should say that, Mark. Why do you say that?
Well, because according to news,
The internet tells us.
the internet tells us that the Inhumans movie that had been on the schedule for 2020, I believe, has been removed from the release schedule. Not shifted.
2019.
2019. Not shifted. It was also shifted from 2018 and then previously shifted from 2017. Not just removed. They apparently, Marvel, does not want to make a Inhumans movie.
It said back in the day, this would have been, the Inhumans would have been the last film in Marvel Phase 3.
Right.
Now that is not the case. Now it doesn't mean that it's, it'll be in Phase 4. Right now, it seems to mean there are no plans for an Inhumans movie.
Right. And once upon a time, Vin Diesel was out in the world talking about how he wanted to be Black Bolt.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can kind of see that.
Yeah,
and also Black Bolt can't really speak in the movie.
Yeah.
So I could really go for it. That'd be kind of amazing.
Yeah, but I guess they
I feel threatened by that because it's like right now there's only one silent character in films, and that's Silent Bob. But once Black Bolt gets in there, they'd be like, "You're old news,
done with you."
fat stupid Bob." I'm like, it's Silent Bob, but
All right,
regardless.
I guess.
Look, I like Black Bolt as well. You don't have to hate me to like Black Bolt. You have to lower me to raise Black Bolt.
There's
now I
enough
don't have to
love.
worry about this shit anymore. Now I'm alone still. Fuck you, Black Bolt. I win. I win. Give me a single.
Give him all
I
the-
win, Black Bolt. I always love to shove it in the face of a fictional character. Speaking of fictional characters and how we love to shove our faces into them,
Yeah.
Captain America Civil War.
It's a movie.
There's a rumor on the internet, deadline here, says might make a few bucks.
Huh. Did they consult all of their, like, Kreskin to tell them?
Shocking fucking news. What they're predicting, analysts are saying the film's going to open to $190 million. To put that in perspective, this is Captain America 3, mind you. It's not Avengers 3.
No.
But it's performing like an Avengers movie, if those numbers are correct. The Avengers opened to $207 million domestically, and Age of Ultron did $191. So they're saying this could open like Age of Ultron. Now, I'm going to make a bold prediction, Mark Bernardin.
Bring it.
Lately, these analyses at the box office been coming in low, and movies are opening higher. I think we're going to see Captain America 3, I was going to say Winter Soldier, that's 2. Civil War functions almost better than an Avengers movie at this point. Based
Totally.
on these trailers, it's got Spider-Man in it and shit like that. I'm going to go bold and say domestic. $215.
215?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
215, which would put it over. I know that's bold. Well, maybe it can't do that because we're not in the summertime. Avengers open in May. Nah, I'm gonna go for it, dude. I'm gonna go for 215. I'm
go
gonna
high,
put him
man.
out there. Yeah?
Yeah, go high.
You've seen it, man. What
I've
do you
seen it.
think?
I went very low last time we talked about it. I think I said something like 140, 150.
Yeah.
Profoundly wrong, apparently. I'm going 223.
You think so?
Yeah, I'm going high.
What did Batman open? Anybody remember? 2 and change?
No.
Didn't? And domestically, it did not. It didn't hit
Domestically, I
2?
don't think it broke 2.
What did Deadpool? Well, Deadpool got up to.
Yeah,
150, I think, was it?
Batman v Superman.
Was Deadpool, that's right. Deadpool was like 150 over a 4-day weekend or something because it was like, holy shit. So Batman v Superman had to open way more than that because they were trumpeting like biggest fucking opening.
It was like biggest
of a comic
March
book
opening
movie.
ever.
Yeah.
Which, not hard to
Open
do.
at 254 overseas. I'm trying to find the domestic.
We're pulling that information, folks.
We are. We've got our...
It's coming through now, Con. See, isn't it awesome? You don't really have to be funny anymore. You just reference old movies, and as long as somebody else gets that reference, pretty fucking good.
You have to know why things work in a starship.
3-day Hume of 166.
Yeah, it's about right.
What? It didn't go over 200?
No.
I'm trying to double check what date I'm looking
So
at.
Civil War could open bigger than domestically, at least bigger than Batman v Superman.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess that would stand to reason. Like they've built a universe over the course of
Pretty
a
much.
decade, and
again, like May is still, for whatever reason, different from March.
yeah,
You know, it feels like the beginning of summer where March felt like an aberration,
yeah.
but still.
When are they officially opening? Is it May that they officially open?
Yeah, May 6th is Civil War. That Friday.
It technically is a summer movie, man.
Qualifies.
They're gonna make that money. You know who else is making that money?
Tell me.
The guy who started the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Jon Favreau,
The
Johnny
Fabs.
the Fabs, swinger himself, a singular swinger, not plural swingers.
No.
Johnny Favs, who gave us Iron Man, which I've said a zillion times in the show, and I maintain is very nearly, if not a completely perfect film, perfect popcorn movie, perfect movie. I ain't even gonna be like it's in this category. Wonderful fucking film, and as Marc pointed out many times, that's saying a lot considering there's no villain in
The entire second act is
He
just
builds things.
a dude in his garage tinkering at shit.
It's an amazing fucking movie, and you don't get. And as much as we were fucking sucking Robert Downey Jr.'s dick before, you don't get to Robert Downey Jr.
No.
The Renaissance, the Robert Downey Jr. Sance, if you will, the Downey Sance,
Downey Sons.
the Robert Sance, probably better, unless you have Jon Favreau going, this is our guy. And if I remember my history correctly, he was fought.
Yeah, nobody wanted.
Nobody wanted
Downey.
him. Nobody had the vision like he did, and he fucking saw it through. And Robert Downey Jr. That's
Yeah,
it.
because at that
History-
point, like Downey was tainted. It was he had just the last thing before that was Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which
everybody dug, and
Which
that's what I
everybody
think he
dug.
used to be like, look
Right.
at how good he could
Like,
be.
and also,
But
yes.
it wasn't commercial.
no, it didn't make a ton of money, but he's very good in it. He came in under time, under budget. He was responsible. We didn't
Yeah.
find him sleeping in any children's beds randomly.
No substance abuse
Yeah,
or whatever.
and it allowed them to say, okay, we can write. It's ultimately about the completion bond.
Right.
It's can they ensure him to show up and do his job every day, and that was in question after the late
Many
mid
things.
80s, 90s.
And there was also like this thing of like, he's older. Shouldn't we get a kid
Yeah.
to play this? What
It's
about
like at that point
him?
he was what, like 45 years
Yeah,
old.
like he was a man.
Yeah, like and an oldish man. Can he get in shape to be in that Marvel tank top?
It's weird if you look at him in all three Iron Man movies, and then probably these as well. Like he's not paunchy, but the thickest he is in the first Iron Man. By the time he gets to the second, he's slimmed down. But the third one, he's a rail. But not like he's unhealthy thin, but he's just like cut.
Yeah.
My man's like doing yoga and some shit. Who knows? But he looked good. Not only is he hysterical, he looks good. Like he's easy to look at. I don't know, it's got creepy. But my point in bringing all this up, Jon Favreau made the Jungle Book movie, which Disney is just
Yeah, swimming in
printing
it.
fucking money off of. They have their own economy based on this movie alone.
I mean, we talked about that when I went to D23 and saw that first footage. Like, this movie's gonna make a fucking fortune. And it's making a fucking
Why don't you
fortune.
fucking predict some other shit we can make bets on?
I know.
Make a little money.
Where's my
You got a
almanac?
sports almanac?
My almanac.
Yeah, man. They can't stop making money off this Jungle Book. Disney, I guess, between Force Awakens, Civil War, Jungle Book, and who knows what else they got fucking pulling up their sleeve over the rest of the year, they must have the biggest box office year in history of any studio. By the end of 2016, feels like it. Feels like they'll beat like Warner Brothers' best year and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I mean, Universal had a ridiculous year last year
Yeah, with like
with Fast and the Furious, Jurassic World, and then Minions in
Yes.
there also.
All right, so you
Was it-
basically have to beat Universal's year.
Right.
And they were
between-
doing that with Force Awakens, which outgrossed all of those movies, right?
I mean, Force Awakens will
Jungle
spill into
Book
this year, but
Civil
Jungle
War.
Book, Civil War, Alice Through the Looking Glass, which
That's coming as well.
which
That's
is coming in
printing
like
money.
June.
They found their new niche, which is like live action versions of our entire catalog.
Oh, totally. Yeah. What? And they've got a Beauty and the Beast coming next year.
2017 with what's
Emma Watson as Belle.
Yeah, now is that it? The
Yeah.
girl from
They're from Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. Who's playing the Beast?
Um,
Ron Perlman's like, I'm waiting for my phone.
I know that
OG Beast.
Luke Evans is playing Gaston, who was Bard the Bowman.
No one fucks like Gaston.
No one sucks like Gaston.
No one likes to do stuff in the butt like Gaston. That's why
My
we're-
dick is so intimidating. No one can fuck like Gaston.
And that's why we don't have a job at Disney.
Hi!
IRS, we're clever. We just came up with that. We're like those guys that wrote all those songs in Mary Poppins.
We're the Sherman Boys.
Yes. We're the modern day Sherman boys.
Dick, Richard.
Total dick. Jungle Book making a lot of fucking money.
Yeah,
and
crushed
it's just-
Huntsman.
It beat the hell out of the Huntsman. The Huntsman was like, "Where's Snow White?" The Huntsman needed Snow White apparently.
The Huntsman needed some reason to exist. And
Pride goeth before the Huntsman, Mark, because they thought they could, this was a movie, when they did Snow White and the Huntsman, it did very well.
It did.
Opened to 50 million. This opened to like 20 million or something like that. And they look like they pulled out all the stops except bringing Snow White back. This is a prequel, happens beforehand.
Yes, Kristen Stewart did not want to be in another Snow White movie.
That's what it was.
Ultimately, yeah.
And then what's his name? Thor himself, Batman v Superman, opened to 166.
That's what I'm finding on Box Office Mojo.
So
Yeah,
Civil War is
that's
going to
legit.
open, like even if it's just 190, Civil War opens bigger than
It is
Batman v
gonna
Superman
crush it.
domestically.
It opened.
That's Marvel, man. Like they built, like they've got a decade head start.
Yeah,
man.
they
They're
did the
just
work.
like- yeah.
They did the fucking work.
It
They're like,
opened to like 250 overseas though.
you know how
Yeah.
you print money? You got to build a proper machine. And they did that. And
Yep.
now they're just like
Counterfeit Hamiltons.
money. Marvel dollars with Stan Lee's face on.
Excelsior.
They announced more Disney live action aside from
Yeah.
Beauty and the Beast coming. Now they've definitely confirmed, fuck yeah, we're sequelizing Mary Poppins with Emily Blunt, so that's moving forward.
And Lin-Manuel Miranda is writing the music for the sequel to Mary Poppins.
You're shitting me.
Mr. Hamilton himself.
Well,
the
they-
Pulitzer
that's-
Prize winning.
He just won a fucking Pulitzer.
Yes.
Did you see him on John Oliver's show? He closed out John Oliver's show. This
Yeah.
episode, the big story was on Puerto Rico. His parents are from Puerto Rico. He's first generation, I think,
Yeah.
American. So he came on at the beginning of the show, they were just going like, this guy's from Puerto Rico, and he's a genius. And they showed a piece of Hamilton. But then at the end, spoilers, at the end of the show, he was like, and now to sing about Puerto Rico is Lin-Manuel Miranda. And he came out and fucking like,
That guy.
crazy talented, crazy talented. Like
And-
John Oliver was all of us when he showed the clip of Hamilton. And it's the, what's your name? Alexander Hamilton. It's that moment. They come back to John Oliver and he's just like, he's so fucking good. Like he's so excited and happy. And he is, the dude is good. I didn't know that. That's true.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, look, I was gonna go anyway because I'm like, Mary Poppins sequel. They got balls.
Shoot.
This better, if a name like Smuckers, it better be good. But you put that dude in charge of the music, I'm there.
Fuck.
And some people are like, what? It's rap? Well, I mean, I don't know, he raps, but like that's a genius musical, Hamilton.
Yeah,
Whether
there
you
is.
think of rap or not, it's just like you know how to rhyme, you can write songs, and that guy can rhyme, man. It's crazy
Yeah.
talented.
I mean, maybe.
Fuck Emily Blunt. Make him Mary Poppins. Like, he's that fucking good. He'll pull it off and people will be like, Julie Andrews.
Who gives a shit?
Garbage. Dinner theater. Lin-Manuel. Emily Blunt's like, fuck me. Fuck you, Silent Bob. She don't even know who Silent Bob is. But anyway, she can definitely be Mary Poppins, but
That's fine.
that's totally
No, I'm
okay.
100%
Maybe
more
Lin-Manuel should be Mr. Banks.
Ooh.
Just throwing it out there.
Or-
they're like, he doesn't even look like Mr. Banks.
Or you know
Like,
what? Fuck it. He should just be Walt Disney.
This is why you bring Marc Bernardin.
Lin-Manuel
Always a
Miranda.
better writer in the room when Marc Bernardin's with it. Hey man, do you like us talking about Nathan Fillion today?
Who wouldn't? He's
Yeah.
Nathan Fillion.
Of course. You want to know more about us talking about Nathan Fillion? How about watching us talk to Nathan Fillion? Click on this somewhere on here, and you can watch the episode where we interviewed Nathan Fillion right here in this very room. He sat here. I could still smell him. Oh, it smells like Castle.
And syrup. Because he's Canadian.